In this video, we're going to import some more flowers and leaves with some select modifications and the use of layer effects. Okay, let's start. We'll continue where we left off. We have the flower and we have two leaves on two separate layers. And we use transform to rotate them. So I'm going to select this flower. I'll get my freeform selection, my lasso tool. And I'll use my magic wand. I'll keep the tolerance down to, let's say, 30. Hold down the Option key. Click. I have to get this area here too, so I'll hold on the Option key again and click again. And now I'm ready to copy and paste it over. So I'll Command C and I'll go to my file. And I will Command V. I'll get another one. Actually, I'll take these here. Get two at a time. You notice that this part here needed some selection. So what I'll do is I'll hold down the Shift key. Okay, that didn't work. So I'll get my quick selection tool. Hold down. Actually, I don't have to hold down anything. I can just push it to the edge. And I forgot a little piece in here, so I would just hold down the Option key. Click in there. Zoom in. Reduce the size of my brush. Hold down the Option key and click. Okay. Okay, I'll press Q, zoom in, view the brush, make it smaller, and by using white, I'll just paint that edge there, do my little touch-ups. Okay, press Q to exit, and I'll just Command C to copy. And Command V. Okay, so I have my flowers here and I want to rearrange them. I have two flowers that's in the same layer and I want to separate them. So I'll just turn off the eyeballs for the other ones. And I'll just press L. And I'll select this one. And I want this one to be in a separate layer. So what I'll do is I would go to Layer, New, Layer via Cut, because I'm going to cut it out. And now it's on its own layer. Okay? I'll repeat that. They're both in the same layer. I made a selection for the flower that I want on its own layer, and then I went to Layer, New, Layer via Cut. So it cut the layer from the image from that layer and created its own independent layer. Now I could transform them. I'll take this one, Command T. And by holding down the Control key and clicking inside your transform selection, you could flip. And you could bring it in to rotate. Even scale. Press return. And the other one, I could Command T to rotate that one. Bring that over about here. Scale that up a little bit. Rotate a little bit. Press return. Now, I'm going to trim the flower. I'll start with the first one. Command click on the layer. Command click on the layer, Command D. Command click on this layer here. And when you command click on the layer and the layer is transparent, you automatically get a selection. It's almost like clicking on a channel. And I'm going to shrink it, select, modify, contract. 1 pixel is fine. And then I'm going to give it a layer mask. By clicking on the layer mask, you trim the edge. So it's nice and clean. Now, I'm going to show you why I do that. Here's my other flower. And I'm going to give this one a drop shadow. Double click on the layer, you would get to your layer style window, and then you could select which style you want. I want drop shadow, so click on the name. Do not do this, because you won't get the controls here. You have to click on the name, drop shadow, then you get the shadows. Okay, and then you could adjust the size, the softness, the size of it, as well as the distance. Okay, you notice what happened? Now that I put a drop shadow, you see this really fine line. It looks like a cutout. That's why I contract 1 pixel and create a layer mask. So I'm going to undo this, hold on the Control key, click, and we say clear layer style. And I'm going to Command, click on it, select, modify, contract 1 pixel. Now I'm going to give it a layer mask with the layer selected, and after you did your layer modification of contract 1 pixel, click immediately on the layer mask button here. You don't have to inverse select, just click on it and the edges will automatically be trimmed. Now let's give it a layer a layer effect. Click on the name, drop shadow, and there we have it. We don't have this fine line. It's soft. It looks more like a natural cut. And that's what I'm aiming for. Okay. So you're going to trim the others. Command click, select modify, contract 1 pixel, click OK, click on the layer mask. Now we can do some compositing or rearrange it as see fit. See, the thing with the layer mask, if I want to reduce the stem, I could click on the layer mask, press B for brush with black, and I could just make modifications. If I don't like it, I switch to white and I could bring it back. And we could also play with color too. I could command, click, and I can give it an adjustment layer. Change my color. This is because the mask wasn't clean enough, but that's okay. I could go back and fix it. It's important to make sure that your layer mask is clean, because when you command click, it's reflecting on the actual layer mask. If I command click here, I get this selection because it's not affected by the layer mask. Okay, so I'm going to undo this because I have to work on my mask first. If you're not sure what your mask look like, you'd always click here and turn off the eyeball and you would see what your layer mask looks like. Okay, so I'm going to clean up my mask. B. Make sure it's selected. Okay. Now, if I command click on it and give it a adjustment layer, see, we won't have that problem. Okay, so we'll continue to create our bouquet.